Major League Baseball is collapsing. Massive collapse in Atlanta right now. 2 collapses in New York.
You come all the way back and you blow it.
Yankees fans pissed. Mets fans even more pissed. They fired the Mets manager. Holy sh! An historic collapse in our nation's capital. Bryce Harper returns to Nats Park and rubs it in the fans' face. Wilson Contreras and Josh Naylor get into a beef this week. That happens every week, guys. All 3 American League teams that entered this week in first place are no longer in first place. The Cy Young winner collapsed on the mound.
Skubal right now is in some pain.
Turns out he just pinched his balls. AJ Hinch, his manager, says he was, quote, uncomfortable in a personal area. Skubal says, what you think happened is what happened. He pinches his nuts, but he's fine. Since coming off the IL, it's not been great. Hasn't made it past the 6th inning. Has given up 2 or more runs in each start since coming off the IL. He's got a 4.96 ERA.
So somebody was lying.
Hey, Tigers go 2-5 this week. They are 35-49, but despite being 14 games under 500, the Tigers are just 6.5 games out of a playoff spot. The entire American League sucks right now. Only 4 out of 15 teams in the AL have a winning record. 5 teams have a positive run differential in the AL. When AL teams play NL teams this season, they are 45 games under 500. That is the 2nd worst of all time.
Damn.
The worst team in the American League right now is the Royals. They also had a player get hit in the balls.
Lynch goes to
boom. So David Lynch fields a bunt, throws it to his third baseman as hard as possible. He's got to be 4 feet away from him. Nick Lofton has to leave the game. But the biggest collapse of them all, that would be the New York Mets. The New York Mets have officially decided to fire their manager. They might have had the worst fucking week of all time. So on Tuesday, they played a doubleheader. A bunch of Norwegians show up, invaded Citi Field, doing chants, doing rows. The viral Viking row. They did a Norwegian conga line.
Is that the Macarena, or what are they doing?
Oh, it's a special Norwegian dance.
But this is like a make-up game during a day game.
So there isn't a lot of fandom here other than our Norwegian friends.
Half the crowd is a bunch of Norwegians just doing soccer chants as the Mets get curb stomped.
This I think is the best clip. It's Dansby Swanson tie game. It's a bomb.
That one is gone. Dansby Swanson delivers.
The Norwegians rooting on the Cubs in Citi Field get blown out 10-3 at home. They play another game that night. Francisco Lindor comes off the IL after 2 months. First ball he gets.
Runner has to hold it.
Oh my goodness.
And Lindor commits an error on
in the 4th inning, Marcus Semien
hits sharply. Semien to his left, knocks it down, still has time, and the throw is offline.
Makes an error. In the 7th, down by 1, he makes another error.
Oh my goodness.
Make the catch.
The next inning, Bo Bichette gets a ground ball.
Backing off is Bichette, and he has trouble getting it out of his glove.
He makes an error. A few minutes later, Mark Vientos gets a ground ball.
And a nice diving stop.
He made an
error.
He makes a throwing error. The next inning,
He hits it sharply at Vientos, and he boots it for yet another error.
That is 6 errors in 1 game for the Mets. And you think, well, it doesn't get much worse than that. Next day, there's a ground ball to short. Low throw, Mark Vientos can't pick the ball at first. That's another error.
What do you say at this point? I mean, this team is in the depths of despair.
A few minutes later, there's a ball hit to right. Gets past Carson Benj in right field.
That'll touchdown for him.
The Mets make 6 errors in 1 game, 8 errors in 15 innings, and 9 errors in the series. Gave up 33 runs in 4 games. They lose 6 in a row. They fall to 13 games below 500. Playoff odds fall to 4.4% for the Mets. And Carlos Mendoza is now no longer the manager. He gets fired. So the day after he gets fired, a fan brings in a fucking sign. Actually, what happens, they don't eject him. They take his sign away. And then he comes back later with a smaller sign. The Nationals are collapsing as well. On Monday, they beat the Phillies 4-1, so they're 3 games over 500. Half game back of a wild card spot for the Nats. 1.5 games back of the Phillies. They got a chance to overtake the Phillies and get into 2nd place. So they led the league in runs as of Thursday. 5th highest OPS, 4th most home runs in the league, had the 2nd most steals in MLB. So the offense has been carrying the squad all year. They go up 5-0 on game 2 thanks to the offense. Enter the 8th inning. They're winning 5-3. Richard Lovelady comes in. Great name. Gives up a triple, walks a guy, hits a guy. The bases are loaded with 2 outs. Real Muto hits a fly ball right field.
Here comes Wood, and he makes the diving attempt and rolls out of his glove, and then he kicks it. The bases will be clear.
James Wood almost saves the game, can't get it. Nats blow a save here. But like I said, best offense in baseball. Nats come right back. Fucking Jorbit Vivas, of all people. It's a clutch 3-run home run. The Nats, again, are back. So the bullpen blew it, and the offense unblows it. Now the bullpen's going to come in and shut it down. Brad Lord used to work at Home Depot. Now he's in the Nats bullpen. What could go wrong? Strikes out the first batter, strikes out the second batter. Nationals have a 2-run lead with 2 outs in the bottom of the 9th. They have a 99% chance to win this game. They get the Phillies down to their last strike. Bullpen proceeds to give up a single, give up a homer, give up another single, give up another single, give up another home run, walk a guy, give up another single, give up a double, walk another guy, and then gives up another single. 10 straight Phillies reach base. They score 8 runs after being down to their final strike. The next day, they take another lead. They go up 2-0. They enter the 9th with a 1-run lead. And once again, they get the first 2 outs of the inning. 2 outs, no one on base. 96% chance to win this game. They just need 1 more out to walk Kyle Schwarber, and Derek Hill comes up.
Swing and a fly ball, right field.
He knew it was gone.
Going back toward the wall. It is
Tough.
First time in history, a team had their opponent down to the last strike with no one on base 2 games in a row and lose both games. And on Thursday, they take another lead. They go up 5-0 on the Phillies. Again, into the 6th, they have a 5-run lead. They got a 96% chance to win this game. The bullpen comes in the 7th, blows the lead again in the 7th. They go into the 9th tied. Bryce Harper comes up to the plate with a runner at first. So the Nationals that have this tarp soft section that's been doing really good in Nats Park. They've been going crazy up there. They're booing the shit out of Harper the whole series. So Bryce Harper comes to the plate. Literally, they're chanting, "Fuck Bryce Harper," as the game is tied. And what does he do? 1-0 count.
Fly ball, left field. That's hit well. Lyles going back toward the wall. Gone!
It's a go-ahead 2-run bomb and points his ring finger at the tarps off section as he's rounding the bases. So the Nats bullpen, they allow 4 blown saves, including 2 blown saves in one
This
day.
nigga needs
They
to be
now have
traded.
24 blown saves on the season. The record for most blown saves in a season is 37. The Nationals right now are on pace to blow 47. They allowed 26 runs. This is just their bullpen. Allowed 26 runs in 4 games. Had an 11.78 ERA. Allowed 6
he might need
homers
to put it
in
up at Home
3
Depot
games.
again.
So Nats bullpen allowed more home runs in 3 days. And the Tigers, Yankees, and Mariners bullpens allowed all month. Negative .5 F4 in 4 games. On pace to have the worst bullpen in MLB history, according to F4. If the Nats had an average bullpen, they would have swept the Phillies. That would have been a 4-game sweep.
Literally.
It would have been 44-38 right now. They would be in second place right now above the Phillies and would be second in the wild card standings. Instead, it is the Phillies. They have another great week. They go 6-2. Schwarber becomes the first player to hit 30 home runs already. So 1 month ago, the Braves were 10.5 games up on the Phillies. Now they're only 3 games up on the Phillies. Since June 9th, they're 4-12. First offense in baseball. Least runs scored, second lowest average, lowest on base, lowest slugging, lowest OPS. Acuna's hurt.
Oh, wow.
3 of the 20 worst hitters since May 9th are on the Braves. So not only are the Phillies catching them, though, the Marlins are catching them now, too. 6.5 games back are the Marlins. Only a half game back of a playoff spot for the Marlins. Have the best record in baseball since June 1st, are 18-6 since June 1st. Lowest ERA in baseball since June 1st. And I put the Braves on notice. The Braves are definitely in danger of a collapse right now. But the Yankees did collapse. But first, a word from today's sponsor. It is summertime, guys. That means it's time to take.
Shout out CE.
Those are amazing.
I ain't trying to watch
Do
all
it.
that. CE
Like
gotta cut
Aaron
me a
Boone
check.
comes out later saying that this pissed him off. Turns out he took an at-bat with a lollipop in his mouth earlier this season in Boston. According to Jazz, though, he was just trying to bite through it, couldn't get through it fast enough. Cameras already caught him. A lot of people didn't like this.
I don't know if I want my second baseman playing with a blow pop during a game.
So Eric Kratz, former catcher for the Yankees, says, quote, "Feels immature and unprofessional. I don't understand why he thought this would be a good idea." Next day, comes up to the plate, hits a go-ahead home run in the 6th, ends up being the game-winning home run, goes in the dugout. What does he do? He grabs the lollipops. And this pissed some people off more.
Stop. Okay. That's showing up your manager and showing that you're watching this social media and playing right into it in the big.
So my thing is that, like, they could just sit here and say, well, the hypocrisy in baseball is really racially charged. Because y'all just sat here and made it seem like he was just so immature. Now he's still doing all that. It's your job. Yeah, I'm still. He needs to show up his man. Man, shut
This
up.
market stop.
They showed him
Boone, even who came out against it, said, quote, after the game, he can have all the lollipops he wants now. Unfortunately for
Like,
Jazz,
they came out
since
against
the
him
lollipop
first.
game, they lost 5 of their next 7 games.
With Walmart's back-to-school
lost
must-haves,
weight, man.
even their locker
It
can
sound
be
like
as big as their vibe.
They need to give him some lollipops. Or
Fortunately for
something.
Jazz, since the lollipop game, they lost 5 of their next 7 games.
Oh my God, it's fucking insane.
They play the Tigers. Garrett Cole has his worst starts of the season, gives up 5 runs, 9 hits, 4 1/3 innings. Then they go into a series against the Red Sox. They get swept in 4 games. Let's make that clear. Game 1 was a rough game. First inning, the second out of the inning. Turns out it was actually catcher's interference. That's 1 error. Schlittler is 1 out from getting out of the inning. Pickoff play, throws it into center field. Caleb Durbin pops up a ball in the second. Schlittler and the catcher just let it fall. That's 3 errors. In the 5th, with runners on first and second, a ball gets by Ahmad Rosario. That is 4 errors, and 4 runs end up scoring because of this. They give up 6 runs in this game. All of them are unearned, and that's because Yeri De Los Santos comes in the game, tries to field a bunt, misses it completely. Then he hits a batter with the bases loaded.
Why the fuck did I turn this shit on, bro? Why the fuck I did this shit to myself, bro? I was playing Batman.
6 runs scored by the Red Sox. Not a single one of them was earned. They fall into the Wilson Contreras trap. He does this famous thing where he gets hit on purpose and then gets in a fight because of it. The guy who gets hit more than anyone. Contreras gets hit by a pitch, obviously tries to get hit by a pitch, then for some reason is like kind of mad about it, makes the other team get even more mad about it, galvanizes the entire team. It worked. The Yankees score 0 runs, get 3 hits all game that game. Then they go 8 complete innings without getting a hit off Sonny Gray, get walked off in game 4.
Embarrassing! Sunday night, can't even finish the damn weekend nice! 4 in a row! Way to go, Cruz! Way to go!
And the Red Sox sweep the Yankees in a 4-game series. So that's the first time they've done that since 2018. What happened that year? Red Sox won the World Series that year. Red Sox entered the weekend with the worst record in the AL. After 4 games, they have the 4th best run differential in the AL. They are 4.5 games back of a playoff spot. Rays win 5 in a row. Junior Caminero hit 7 home runs in 6 games. So the Rays led the league in homers this week, had 12 home runs. 7 of those were by one player, Junior Caminero. Hits 1 in 4 straight games. They sweep the Diamondbacks, and they got a player to swing and miss at a pitch that hit him in the chest.
Look out.
Here's the thing. Didn't even count as a swing. This umpire calls this a check swing. In no way, shape, or form could you ever say this is a check swing. However, it is ruled a check swing. Cubs, going into the week, they had the worst record in baseball since May 9th. The worst of the Rockies, worst of the Royals. They were 13-25 during that stretch. Third worst pitching staff in baseball, and they got worse. 3 out of 5 starters got hurt in June. Jamison Tayo, strained hamstring in June. Ben Brown, stress reaction in his neck in June. Edward Cabrera, strained hamstring in June. 3 more relievers get hurt in June. Total 5 starters and 7 relievers on the IL. 12 pitchers on the IL. You think a collapse is coming. It's the opposite. So the Cubs go off this week, go 6-1. They sweep the Mets in 4 games. Dansby Swanson has the most insane 2 days of all time. In game 1 of the doubleheader, goes 2 for 4 with 2 home runs. In game 2, goes 3 for 5 with a triple, 4 more RBIs in that game. So in one day, he hits a grand slam, 3 home runs, a triple, stolen base, 11 RBIs in one day. The day before, he had 4 RBIs. So that is 15 RBIs in 2 days. So this is from Codify. Dansby Swanson woke up one day with 31 RBIs, went to sleep the next day with 46 RBIs. That is 15 RBIs in 2 days, man. They went 2 out of 3 against the Brewers, so they were up by 1, had the bases loaded with 1 out. Big series, interdivision rivals. They're on the road, up by 1, bases loaded with 1 out.
Ground ball to third. Throw to second for 1. For the win. Yes!
This is an away game. This is in Milwaukee, and it is going crazy for the Cubs. 12-4 since June 11th, have the best offense in baseball. First in runs, first in on base, 4th highest OPS. A lot of that is PCA. He's been 369 in that stretch, a 1,200 OPS, 6 home runs, 1.9 WAR in that stretch. He has 1.9 WAR in 16 games, as the Cubs now just 5.5 games back of the Brewers. The Cubs are back. So Dalton Rushing has become MLB's new most hated player in baseball. It's only taken him 3 months. Once it becomes public knowledge that Ohtani might not like this guy, it's all out, right? If Ohtani doesn't like you, then you gotta be a piece of shit. Play this clip. Dalton Rushing sneaks up behind Ohtani. Ohtani senses him, looks back at him, and immediately gets out of there. Gives him the side eye of the century. And it's like Ohtani just couldn't help it. His instincts took over. And he said, all right, I gotta do something else. Then later, he's got a handshake with Ohtani. Ohtani does his handshake with him. I guess he tells him to zip it. And he's telling Ohtani to zip it. Don't tell Ohtani to zip it, dude. He makes fun of him breaking a bat over his leg. This is where it gets bad. So this week, Ohtani is pitching, right? They start out on the wrong foot. So Ohtani throws a ball in the corner. It's called a ball. He looks like he wants a challenge, but Dalton Rushing does not challenge the pitch. This has been an issue in the last few starts with Ohtani. So in Pittsburgh specifically, he threw a first pitch fastball in the corner, looked like he wanted a challenge. He did not challenge. Then he throws a 2-0 fastball in the corner, wanted to challenge again, but does not challenge. Both of these pitchers were on the corner, would have been reversed. Instead of being a 1-2 count, it's a 3-0 count. Brandon Lau then hits a 2-run double, turns a great 7-inning 1-run start for Ohtani into the worst start of the season because of these 2 questionable calls. Now, Ohtani does have the power to reverse a call or challenge call whenever he wants. However, catchers are way more accurate at challenging calls, so typically pitchers won't challenge a call. They'll leave it up to their catcher. So fast forward 2 starts later, Ohtani was upset to start. He has a 2-out walk. He's upset. Him and Rushing get crossed up with the bases loaded and 2 outs. Ohtani throws a 102-mile-per-hour fastball. It's like the fastest pitch he's ever thrown all year. Dalton Rushing was expecting a slider or an off-speed pitch, so the ball gets back behind the plate. A run scores because of it. According to Ohtani, Rushing pushed 2 buttons on the pitch comm, which confused Ohtani. And then Dalton Rushing looks pissed at Ohtani because he threw the wrong pitch. They have to have a mound meeting, and the mound meeting gets complicated. Obviously, there's some communication issues, right? Then Ohtani throws a slider at the bottom of the zone. This time, Ohtani does challenge it, emphatically challenges it. Dalton Rushing looks at him and says, "Don't challenge it. What are you doing? Don't challenge it. Do not challenge this, Ohtani." Too late, he challenged it, and guess who's right? Ohtani's right. Ohtani is constantly shaking him off the whole inning. He doesn't like the pitches that are being called. He eventually starts calling his own pitches. After this inning, you can see Freddie Freeman giving Dalton Rushing a pep talk in the dugout. Dave Roberts gives him a pep talk in the dugout. He starts hitting himself in the head in the dugout, which he does a lot. Afterwards, Ohtani goes to the media and says he wasn't comfortable with Rushing's pitch calling. I felt as if I was throwing with hesitation. I think that affected the quality of my pitches. Also saying that it was like this in his last start too. And then after that, Ohtani starts calling his own pitches. And then what happens after he calls his own pitches, he shuts down the Twins for 5 more innings. With Will Smith as his catcher, Ohtani had 5 earned runs in 61 innings. With Rushing as his catcher, he's allowed 9 runs in 18 2/3 innings.
Oh,
so
wow.
With Will Smith, he has a .74 ERA in 10 starts. With Dalton Rushing, he has a 4.34 ERA over 3 starts. So the question is Dalton Rushing completely ruining Ohtani's pitching? He says that was an embarrassing performance. He takes responsibility for the outing. So obviously, he had a bad game. And not only that, behind the plate with the communication with Ohtani, he goes 0 for 4 with 3 strikeouts. He gets mad in the dugout again. He redeems himself the next day, hits a home run. Then who's the first person to greet him in the dugout, Mitchell?
Shohei
Ohtani. Burying the hatchet. Okay? Brothers fight, man. And that is all for this week's episode.
Love y'all, man. I'll be back in a couple seconds, not a couple minutes. I hope y'all doing well. See y'all soon, man.